to mundo fine, night train to the end. Running hard and running fast to meet my future and away from my past. Taking the gamble that cannot last. Night train to the end.
Hi, this is the Frater Each Night Show, and our article for now is radio astronomers scouring the archives spotted black hole devouring a star. It's the second such event discovered in radio regime. The first was discovered in 2020. There are decades of radio astronomy data in the archives of the National Radio Astronomy Observatory, NRAO. There are still new discoveries lurking within it. Astronomers have spotted the telltale signature jet from a black hole devouring a star several decades ago, and several data collected by the Very Large Array VLA telescope in New Mexico. According to a new paper published in the Astrophysical Journal, it is the only second such candidate. Early discovered in the radio regime. The first was discovered in 2020. The discovery was presented virtually yesterday at a meeting of the American Astronomical Society. As we reported previously, it is a popular misconception that black holes behave like cosmic vacuum cleaners, ravenously sucking up any matter in their surroundings. In reality, only stuff that passes beyond the event horizon, including light, is swallowed up and can't escape. Although black holes are also messy eaters, that means a part of the object's matter is actually ejected in a powerful jet, and that object is a star. The process of being shredded for spaghettified by the powerful gravitational forces by a black hole occurs outside the event horizon, and part of the star's original mass is ejected violently outward. This is in turn can form a rotating ring of matter, aka an acceleration disk, around the black hole that emits powerful X-rays, invisible light, and sometimes radio waves. These jets are one way astronomers can indirectly infer with the presence of a black hole wave known as tidal disruption events. For instance, astronomers in 2018 announced the first direct image of the aftermath of a star being shredded by a black hole 20 million times more massive than our sun. The encounter first took place in a pair of colliding galaxies called ARP 299, about 150 million light years from Earth. The astronomers used a combination of radio and infrared telescopes, including the Very Large Baseline Array VLBA, to follow the formation and an expansion of the jet of matter. The matter was ejected in the wake of a star being shredded by a supermassive black hole at the center of the colliding galaxies. Astronomers founded our TDE in 2020, dubbed at 2019 QIZ, which provided the first direct evidence that outflowing gas was disruption and accretion, produces the powerful optical and radio emissions obviously observed. However, these powerful bursts of light are often shrouded behind a curtain of interstellar dust and debris, making it difficult for astronomers to spot or study them in greater detail during optical or X-ray telescopes. The study demonstrates the power of radio surveys to discover TDEs, said to co-author Vikram Ravi of Caltech, by picking up powerful jets shining in the radio frequency regime. The events are potentially powerful tools for studying the inner workings of black holes. The new TDE candidate has been dubbed Two of Rave's high school interns first spotted in them. He was a postdoc of Harvard University. Poring over the archives, they noticed that the image of a bright radio object taken in the mid 1990s had faded dramatically by 2017. They found images of the same object of archives of the Green Bank 300-foot telescope, which showed that the object had been brighter in 86 and 87. Bolstered further by new observations taken by VLA, Rave and his team concluded that the object was a TDE, the result of a supermassive black hole at the center of the galaxy, some 500 million light years away, that devoured a star and expelled a powerful radio jet traveling near the speed of light. The discovery is being published jointly with astronomers at the University of Toronto, who independently found the object. It's the closest example of the type of TD candidate yet found, suggesting that such radio bright events might even be more common than astronomers previously believed. Ravi's group has already spotted another possible radio bright TDE using the VLA, although it may be a flare from an active supermassive black hole. Okay, the next story is Iphaiosaur, huge fossilized sea dragon found in Rutland Reservoir. I rang up the county council and I said, I think I found a dinosaur, explained Joe Davis, who works at the Rutland Water Nature Reserve, during landscaping work at the reserve's reservoir in February 2021. He had spotted something odd poking out of the mud. It wasn't a dinosaur, but it was the fossilized remains of a 10-millimeter long sea predator called Iphaiosaur, and it was the largest of its type ever discovered in the UK. I looked down at what seemed to be stones or ridges in the mud, and I saw this looks like a bit organic, a bit different. Mr. Davis told BBC News that we saw something that looked almost like a jawbone. The consul said to Mr. Davis, we have a dinosaur department at Rutland County Council, so we are going to have someone to call you back. A team of paleontologists were brought in for a closer look. They concluded that it was a Iphaiosaur, a type of warm-blooded air-breathing sea predator, not unlike dolphins. They could grow up to 25 meters long and lived about 250 million to 90 million years ago. Dr. Dean Lomax, a paleontologist from Manchester University, was brought in to lead the excavation effort. He called the discovery truly unexpected and unprecedented, and due to its size and completeness, one of the greatest finds in British paleontological history. Usually we find of Ichthyosaurs and other marine reptiles being discovered along the Jurassic coast in Dorset or the Yorkshire coast. Many of them are exposed by the erosion of the cliffs. Here at the inland location is very unusual. Rutland is more than 30 miles from the coast, but 200 million years ago, higher sea levels meant it was discovered by a shallow ocean. When water levels on the Rutland Reservoir were low again in the late summer of 2021, a team of paleontologists came in to excavate the remains. Special attention was paid to the removal of a huge skull. A large block of clay containing the Ichthyosaur's head was carefully dug out before being covered in plaster and placed on a wooden splints. The block, weighing almost a ton, was raised out of the mud and will now be examined further. It is not often you're responsible for a safety listing. A very important but very fragile fossil weighing that much. But Nigel Lurkin, Paleontological Conservatory, visiting research fellow at Reading University. It is a responsibility, but I love a challenge. And Jillian Walter, which manages the Rutland Reservoir, is now looking for funding to enable the ichthyosaur to stay in the area and be enjoyed by the general public. A lot of people thought I was pulling their leg. I told them I found a large marine reptile at work. Mr. Davis said, I think a lot of people won't believe it until the TV program comes out. Well, that's all for now. See you next time.